Hi, this video shows day 15 of a group motorcycle tour from Thailand through Indochina. In this video we travel from Kampot to Sihanoukville, which are both in Cambodia. Here's the complete route, and today we skirt a short section about 110 kilometers of Cambodia's 440 kilometer western coastline onto the Gulf of Thailand. So now we're leaving Kampot. Here we stop for a school crossing. And then the road becomes a little bit more rural as we go along. Some interesting buildings, some interesting vehicles that we pass. And at one point we hit a section of 20 kilometers of just loose grading. And then we reach this awesome statue of Preah, Thong and Neak, mythical founders of Funan, which is a pre-Ankgor region that encompassed most of Southeast Asia between the 1st and 6th centuries CE. This 21-metre statue on a 6-metre pedestal symbolises the birth of Khmer land, culture, traditions and civilisation. So they're kind of a Cambodian Adam and Eve, if you like, facing out to sea, since sea trade was so vital in those days for the growth of a country. So now we start to head towards Sihanoukville. I noticed first of all how big and wide these roads are. So you can see that it's built for the expectation of some pretty big traffic. Of all the places we visited on this trip, Sihanoukville was the weirdest, and it's left an impression on me. I found it fascinating. If you have a chance, you should definitely visit it one time. And by motorcycle is not a bad way to do it. Sihanoukville has been described on YouTube videos variously as a country within a country, a complete dive, a gangster's paradise, but also as a clean and modern city. It's sort of become associated with its empty ghost buildings and some general seediness, details of which can be easily found online. Sihanoukville is Cambodia's main deep-sea port with a history that dates back to the Funan period, when it was called Kompong Som. The port opened to ocean traffic in 1956, and the city was renamed in 1958 to honour King, Prime Minister and Head of State, variously, Norodom Sihanouk. He's a pretty fascinating guy himself. In the 1960s, Cambodia's new golden era, it became a major trade hub, and the beaches and general vibe attracted local and international visitors, including the likes of Catherine Deneuve and Jackie Kennedy. More about her later. In early '64, Sihanouk signed a secret agreement with North Vietnam allowing Chinese military aid to be delivered through Sihanoukville's port. An estimated 18,000 odd tons were delivered between 1966 and '69. But after the deposition of Sihanouk in 1970 in a coup d'etat, the port was then controlled by the US-backed Lon Nol government and became an evacuation site eventually for the Americans when the Khmer Rouge took over in 1975. With the genocide, the city was then empty for 4 years, of course. So after the fall of the Khmer Rouge in 1979, the port played a key role in Cambodia's recovery, and a rapid economic growth led to the growth of Sihanoukville, which at that point became a haven for expats and travellers. So we enter this kind of golden era. But then in 2006, the city became a special economic zone, or SSEZ, in a joint venture between the Cambodian and Chinese governments. With the Belt and Road Initiative in 2013, The economic zone became a flagship project, transforming the city into an urban hub of skyscrapers, hotels, condominiums and casinos. This rapid development and inward investment brought a number of negative issues, which included alleged money laundering, online gambling, online scam centres and associated problems. This apparently led the Chinese government to call for a crackdown, which the Cambodian government carried out around 2018. So there was a sort of general slowdown and withdrawal, but then of course along came COVID in 2020, and the net result that we see today is all these empty skyscrapers and buildings, and there are estimated to be about 500 empty skyscrapers in this city. The city's massive, and it's full of tall buildings, but so many of them are just not completed. And it's quite fascinating to look at as you ride around. Then these are what they call the ghost hotels. You notice also the Chinese writing. There's still a very large Chinese population, and it's still a popular Chinese tourist resort, I believe. So the expat population is reckoned to be about 90% Chinese, and maybe 20% upwards of the entire population. And you can see from a lot of the cars and the condition of the roads that there is still money here. Now, these casinos are still in use. There is still active tourism. It's just not obvious. Nobody's in the sea. Nobody's walking around. It's hard to see where it is. It's a beautiful sea as well. It's a beautiful coastline, and it's fantastic sand. It looks like the sea is safe to go in, but we just didn't see anybody in it. Flash cars, we saw Bentleys, Mustangs, Ferraris, Rolls Royce. It's all here. So really a city of contrasts. Surprisingly large, surprisingly empty. I didn't go into the bar street in Sihanoukville. It just didn't appeal to me. Those who went said it was mostly closed Chinese restaurants and bars. It was really good to come on this trip though, I think, as I would never have chosen to visit Sihanoukville by myself out of choice, but because it was part of this tour, this is why we came here. So this video was a bit longer, but I really wanted to talk about Sihanoukville. In some ways, Sihanoukville and even Independence Hotel itself represent Cambodia. From prominence in a once great empire, two great empires, drawn into someone else's war, cleared of people, and then picked over and exploited by foreign interests. And as we ride around, you can just see, oh, there's an extremely fast courier. He's in a hurry. As we ride around, you can see the scale of this city, just the size of it.
What a job in construction, bud!
We're now heading towards the Independence Hotel. This is another amazing place, capturing the full majesty and tragedy of Cambodia's past. It was completed in 1964 as a conscious landmark to demonstrate the country's new optimism following independence from France. Again, that golden era, that of hope and expectation. Perched above the sea, the building was by far the tallest in the country. French designed. During this time, the hotel's guests included, as I said, Catherine Deneuve and Jackie Kennedy, and the hotel served as a showpiece for the royal family, with King Norodom Sihanouk taking responsibility for the hotel's original interior design himself. And then he was also a musician, film star, and you name it. It fell into disuse, guess what, as a hotel under the Khmer Rouge. Dissident prisoners were apparently interred in this cloverleaf-shaped swimming pool here. And There's a sort of ominous looking cage behind that. Following the fall of Pol Pot, the hotel reopened in 1992 to house UN forces who were seeking to assist in rebuilding the country, although it's said only about half the rooms were habitable. It later again fell into disuse and was used as a hideout for criminals and smugglers apparently. Now it's top contender for spookiest, most overlooky hotel that we stayed in. Great big empty spaces, a retro feel to it, and ghosts literally of the past. It's like a haunted time capsule. It's a fascinating place. In the next video we head to Phnom Penh, the capital of Cambodia. So please stay tuned for that. Thanks very much for watching and see you next time. Bye. Who's following me, my bro?